So, did you have a problem with Conan the Barbarian where as soon as it ended, you couldn't remember what just happened?
No, I remembered what happened. I just wish that I didn't remember what happened. This was a good pick, I guess, on your part. But you hadn't seen it before, right?
Right.
What made you pick it?
Well, I'd always heard that it was like bad,
Hmm.
and I used to be, of the mind, oh, it's bad, I'm definitely not gonna watch it. But I've discovered a lot of like movies that I've enjoyed that I previously believed were bad movies.
Like what?
So, well, like the Planet of the Apes sequels. Um, I mean, like 4 out of 5 of those movies are fantastic.
You're right. This is about as good as Planet of the Apes 2.
Yeah, I mean that movie, it's boring for like the first half, but once they get underneath the planet, man, it shit just goes.
Yeah, that's like this movie. It's boring for the first like 30 minutes, but then once he like gets going on his adventure, I was pretty entertained, and then the ending, I got checked out again. It's like it ended and started really badly, but that middle stuff of him just going on adventures and shit, I was kind of into it.
Yeah, I was actually surprised. There's a lot of really cool gore effects. Like I thought this shit was gonna be like a CGI fest, you know?
So it starts with the Lionsgate logo, but it's like the bloody one they use for the Saw movies.
Yeah, that was weird. I saw Millennium Media and I go, ooh, that's not a good sign.
And when I saw like the Saw version of the Lionsgate logo, I was like, "This is weird." But then once the movie got going, I was like, "Oh no, it's accurate. This is about as like gory and bloody as like all the Saw movies."
Yeah, and like some of it was like really effective. Like some of it like really made me squirm because I just had those like sympathy pangs.
It are we just going into the movie? We can, but
Yeah, yeah, we'll just go into the movie and then we'll just do some news
okay,
after.
yeah, no biggie. Well, the movie starts with like almost like a three strike kiss of death, where like it has like the Saw version of the Lionsgate logo, and I was like, and then it starts with this big like exhibition dump, voiced by Morgan Freeman, who narrates the movie but isn't actually in the movie.
Yeah, he never shows up in it. I think that seems like a studio decision.
I kept expecting at one point Conan would run into him throughout the movie and he would join his travels or something, but no, he's just not in the movie. He just narrates it.
Yeah, like the wizard from the original movie.
So they have the exhibition dump, voiced by narrated by Morgan Freeman, and then there's like a MacGuffin they set off right off the bat with this like skull mask that they have to break into pieces and like the prophecy of the chosen one. And I was like, this is a lot of things that I hate in the first like 5 minutes of the movie.
Yeah, I mean, the the villain of this movie is no Thulsa Doom. I'll tell you that.
Scott Lang,
Stephen Lange.
Stephen Lang, yeah,
Scott Lang is Ant-Man.
yeah. Which probably would have been better if Paul
Yeah,
Rudd was Conan the Barbarian. But we do have like Ron Perlman as Conan's father.
he looks awful.
And Conan
What
isn't
the hell
just
was man?
born. He's like cut out of his mom's belly during a battle
Yeah,
where everything just like pauses around them so they can cut this little like mannequin baby out of her and then like raise it to
I
the
rolled
gods and
my eyes
scream.
so hard.
I sent you that video of him like raising his son being like, ah! I was just like, I need Kate to see the opening of this movie.
Like, but it's weird because like I've never seen like like ooh the baby's in the fetus. We're like watching it, and then the fucking sword just comes in and go, oh my god, that is cool. And then after that sucks.
Yeah. Yeah,
But that part was cool.
the whole opening of him as a kid where he's like a misfit but also really competent at like killing like four different men in the woods,
Yeah.
and he like just brings back their heads and tosses them at his dad.
God, those heads look so good.
Yeah, no, the effects are pretty solid. So they set up like him and his dad are close but not close because he's a misfit but also a
Hmm.
really good fighter. and then his dad like okay, were you confused about the sword scene?
Yeah,
He's like,
yeah,
what's more important in making a sword, fire or water or ice? Fire or ice? And the kid's like, I don't know. And he's like, both. And then he like breaks the sword. And I was like, what? Surely there's an easier way to go about this.
yeah. And like, there is a lot of like because we got to remember that this came out in 2011, and Game of Thrones was the new hotness on the scene.
Yeah, that's clear.
Yeah, it is so obvious because that's the only reason Jason Momoa is even in this.
Yeah, he's
Like
in
he
this.
is no Arnold.
And then his like best friend in the movie was also in Game of Thrones. You remember him?
Yeah, Saeed.
What?
Oh wait, no. The guy who was like, I'm gonna marry Khaleesi and then get trapped in a vault.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
And he's terrible in this. Like all of his lines are pretty bad. He's got this really goofy
yeah,
wig.
yeah. His like dreadlocks like are like raised like 4 inches from his scalp. Why do dreadlock wigs always look terrible?
I don't know. I mean, we should both get one, right?
I mean, all right, here's some weird. It's like a little like side thing. YouTube's been showing me a lot of videos of people washing their dreadlocks, and it's
What
disgusting.
are you looking
Like,
up that it's suggesting
I
that?
don't know, just shit just pops up on my YouTube like, hey, you might want to watch this, and it just automatically rolls, and then it's just these people like letting it soak in this like solution, and then the water's just it looks like you washed a dog.
It's a lot of
Cause like
maintenance.
yeah, because it's like so much dirt and filth and mold and fungus. It's just disgusting. That set looked like it smelled.
It does. So his best friend's got dreads, and then like they set up the beef with the main bad guy, who's not
Oh
Scott
yeah, but
Lang.
they're not even really friends because that dude's hardly in the movie.
Is it about Stephen Lang or the best friend guy?
Yeah,
Well, he's like the
like he's there in the beginning,
yeah.
and then he goes away, and then he shows up on his pirate ship, and then he's there for like another 2 scenes, and then he's gone again.
When he's like, swim for jump and swim to the boat.
Yeah,
He's like miles away, but he hears him, of course. So Stephen Lang in the movie is like he wants the MacGuffin. He wants these skull pieces to make a mask to bring his witch wife back from the dead.
yeah. There's a lot better way to deliver us that piece of dialogue.
And he has this like creepy white witch daughter who grows into Rose McGowan.
Is that who that was?
Yeah, yeah.
Huh.
Who wants to like sleep with her dad, I think.
Yeah, that was really weird and unclear.
And she has like a Freddy Krueger glove.
Yeah. There's a lot of missteps. A lot of things they do really well in this movie, but man, there's a lot of missteps.
Yeah, like the plot really only matters in the beginning and the end. Like he wants those mask pieces
Yeah.
to so his wife will come back and make him a king. But that's
Yeah.
really they're only in the beginning and the end. The middle is just a bunch of random like bullshit.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard for me to separate this movie from the original Conan movie.
Hmm.
Cuz like the original Conan, like I like that version of Conan, like, he's a meek, weak, sickly kid who grows up and earns his position of strength. Whereas like Jason Momoa's Conan's like always that kind of like a smarmy asshole, like douchey teenager the whole movie.
I think we're supposed to find him like kind of charming. There's one point where he like gags his girlfriend, the damsel character,
Yeah.
so she'll like shut up, and I was just like, this is making me a little uncomfortable. Like, oh, isn't it funny? She's smart and talking, and he don't need none of that, so he's just gonna gag her.
Yeah, I mean, like when Arnold's Conan was talking about like the lamentation of the women, it's because like he was like that's all he knew, and like he grows from there.
How many times have you seen this movie, the original Conan?
Uh, oh, a lot. I
Okay.
love Conan the Barbarian, but things like me and my roommates were talking like the only reason why I love it is because I love like watching Arnold movies.
Okay.
If anyone else was in it, I wouldn't give a shit.
And your favorite Arnold movie is Junior, as you've said many times.
Yes, Junior, and then it's twins.
Yeah, okay. Right, that makes sense. I've only seen the first Conan once, and I think I fell asleep during it, so I don't remember it. I just remember there's like a lot of stairs at one point, right?
Yeah, that's when he goes to confront Thulsa Doom.
And his dad is James Earl Jones.
No, that's Thulsa Doom. His dad is, I think his, no, his dad is someone of no consequence. It's, the king that he's like sort of serving under-ish is Max von Sydow.
I'm pretty sure his dad is James Earl Jones, and I think you're gonna kick yourself when you watch it later because you're gonna realize I was right. But that's all I remember about the first movie. Um,
Yeah, yeah.
so I don't have much of a connection to it. I just know that this movie, for a good like 40 minutes, it was slapping. It slaps, as the young kids
Yeah.
say. I was kind of into the action, and I will say the pace was actually pretty good,
Hmm.
like with the exception of the opening, which went on for like about the
Ever. It was 24 minutes long. Yeah.
yeah the 22-minute mark when they're like in okay, so the bad guy has Ron Perlman and like a hut, and he's got like a big bowl of like scalding melted cheese above his head or something, and he's like chained up, and if he moves,
Yeah, Game of Thrones.
yeah, if he moves, it'll fall and kill him or something. Um, but about this point, I was like, Jesus. I was texting my girlfriend. I was like, I don't know if I could make it. This is really bad. I was like, I'm already want to take a nap. Like I'm exhausted. And I had like a lot of coffee that day too. Like I was constantly pooping because of all the coffee I had. But then I was just watching that 22-minute mark and I was like, I'm exhausted. I need to like lay down. It's like sucking the energy out of me.
Yeah, I was watching and I'm like, our main character isn't in this movie yet. Like, boy, like it's 11 minutes. Like old Conan, like we saw Arnold by this point. Man, it's it's 20 minutes into this movie and our main character isn't here. Oh my God, it took for like there was like an entire act of a movie where Jason Momoa is not here.
I know that A, nobody watches these, but B, we only do audio. But when Kate was talking just then, she looked at a watch that doesn't exist on her wrist.
How did you know?
Because I'm watching your video. I just appreciate the
Oh, you're
pageantry.
watching my video?
Yeah, I appreciate that.
Oh
I'm
my
like, who is
God.
she doing that for?
I'm doing it for the fans because the fans can tell what I'm
No,
doing.
I appreciate it. I appreciate it. So they set up the thing with the dad, the evil bad guy dad, wanting to
Yeah.
like get this mask, and then Conan's dad dies, and then Conan goes on like a series of action scenes where he's fighting, and that's when the movie's I guess the most entertaining because then it just flies by. It's just basically
You know, you know where I checked out of the action scenes though?
hmm,
It was the sand monsters.
that was the best one.
I checked out because there was just so many action scenes. I'm like, oh my God, I feel like it's a sugar high. I feel like I've eaten too much sugar by the point of this movie.
Yeah, Rose McGowan, the witch character, Marique, I think her name is, or something like that. She raises these sand people. She's essentially like it. It feels like Rita Repulsa. She's kind of like pops up and is like, "Ah, I'm gonna kill ya," and then she raises like putties, and then she like disappears or whatever, and then she comes back later.
Yeah, she
So
doesn't have an arc.
no, not at all. Well, I mean, they kind of hint at like she wants the dad to recognize her power as a witch
Eh.
and that she can do the things his wife can do. She's like, you don't need mom, I can do this. But then at the end battle, she doesn't use her magic once. She just gets her arm cut off and dies.
I know.
So she raises these sandmen that like once you like push them over, they just kind of burst into sand or something.
Yeah, and maybe the reason why I checked out there is because like all the gore and all that, like all the like, it's almost like quasi like pirate swashbuckling sort of like bro-ness that Jason Momoa is like bringing to the table is not really present for that
That
scene.
it's funny you say the pirates because I thought that exact same thing. It just feels like one of the sequences in one of the pirate sequels where Johnny Depp's like running on a
Yeah,
wheel or something and like looking at the camera like, oh.
yeah, and you're just kind of bored. I'm like, okay, all right, let's move on. This
That's
scene's going a
accurate.
little long.
I did feel that too. That's funny you thought that.
Yeah, I mean, I will say, just to go to the end of the scene of the movie real quick. Uh, the movie acts like you weren't watching it the whole time
Because they know we weren't.
because Stephen Lang just does like rapid fire callback lines of dialogue. I'm like, yeah, Steven, I was watching the movie. I know you were there in the first scene.
It was just yeah, it was weird. It was just so there's the different action scenes. There's well, he grows up into Conan and he's Jason Momoa after he's a really obnoxious kid character, and like what's his goal? He's going around like freeing slaves, which Daenerys also does in Game of Thrones.
Yeah, but he doesn't really have like a motivation to do that because he was never like, I mean, he wasn't enslaved.
Right.
Like he's a kid and he goes, ah, like with the sword up in the air and everything, and I just roll my eyes again because I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah, there's a few scenes of people just screaming into the sky.
Oh god.
So he's like going around freeing slaves, and then he meets the girlfriend who the only thing I've
Who we
ever
don't get to know.
what?
We don't really get to know her. Like, what was her character?
She was smart, I think.
Was she?
I think they want us to think that.
She's smart. Okay, what was her personality like?
Do you know who she is? Okay, so throughout
No.
half the movie, I kept thinking she was Roz, the hooker from Winterfell from Game of Thrones.
Uh-huh.
I kept thinking it was her. It's not. It's the girl that Harry and Lloyd fight over in Dumb and Dumber when Harry met Lloyd.
No way.
Yeah, Jessica.
Oh my god. I don't remember shit from that movie.
Wouldn't you feel bad if those were your two biggest roles? Like, yeah, I was in the Conan remake and I was in the Dumb and Dumber prequel.
Hey man, working actors gotta work.
Yeah. She was also in the new Star Trek movie, the first one with she was like the green girl that Kirk's macking on.
Ah.
So she's had a good
Yeah.
storied career, highs and lows, peaks and valleys.
Oh god, Star Trek.
Do you not like that movie or something?
No, I do. I just don't like what Star Trek's become.
Oh,
And it's because of those movies.
yeah, I'm not as much. I'm not really into Trek like Kate is. I just like the movies and the original series.
Yeah.
Um, so he meets the girl who. Okay, so Stephen Lange is looking for a pure-blooded person to put his wife's soul into.
Yeah, they never really say like what that pure blood means.
Right. I don't
Like,
know. So
yeah, they just say like a pure blood and like what's that, Steven? Like pure blood.
we just know it's not these ladies because she Rose McGowan spends a lot of the movie cutting like women's throats and like tasting their blood.
Yeah.
Just telling they're not pure. And then Conan meets the girlfriend who needs to go somewhere and he says he'll take her, I guess.
Yeah, this movie is just a collection of scenes put together. There's no like real like through line for the majority of the movie.
Yeah, not at all. Which I don't really mind because that's when the movie was at its best when it was just Jason Momoa butchering human beings.
That's true. When it did get to the story, I just kept going, huh?
I was texting my girlfriend and I was like, I don't know anything about this, but I have one prediction that because one of the main threats is a woman and Jason Momoa probably is not going to fight her, the girlfriend will turn out to be a badass and fight the witch. But then when they start setting her up as like a smart character, I was like, oh, it's not going to happen. And then it happens at the end. I was like, oh my God, I was right. The girlfriend has to fight the witch.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, they were kind of setting it up like, they were gonna have a girl fight, and I go, oh, come on, movie, I thought we were past this.
Well, it was
And
2011.
then, no, like, yeah, Jason Momoa cuts her fucking hand off. I'm like, oh my god, good for you, movie, and like kicks her down, she gets impaled. And then she keeps bleeding after she dies, and I go, aw, movie.
Were you surprised that like she didn't? Okay,
I thought she was gonna be like a spirit or like a soul demon coming out afterwards.
Yes, thank you. Okay. Well, we'll get to the climax. So he fights sand people. There's like a sea creature that also reminded me of the Pirates of the Caribbean with the Kraken.
Yeah, I said the same thing. I'm like, release the Kraken.
That you don't ever see. You just see its tentacles.
Yeah.
And then like they swam past it to get into the room. And
Yeah.
like nothing happened, but then it attacks them. And it also reminded me a lot of, have you seen the movie Popeye with Robin Williams?
Yeah.
At the end when he fights the octopus, that's what it felt like. A whole bunch
Uh-huh.
of like random characters being like, oh.
Yeah, like, oh no, there's that guy. There's that guy from Wonder Woman, Saeed. Oh,
You never saw Legion, right, on FX?
I watched the first season.
What'd you think?
I really liked it. It just hit at a time where there was just so much shit to watch.
Yeah, that's fair. I like it a lot. The third season is good up until the ending. The ending of the show makes me really like annoyed, but
Aw.
that guy Sadiq was supposed to be like the main antagonist of the show, the Shadow King. He wasn't, but that would have been neat because he's an actor that I like. Like I liked him in Wonder Woman.
Yeah, yeah. I just watched him in a French movie called La Haine last night. He's fucking great in it.
He's barely in this. He plays his like one-eyed friend who is like a thief or something.
Yeah, like all of Conan's friends are named something different than they were in the first movie, but they're the same character.
They're all
They're just not as fun.
they're all also maybe played by Game of Thrones actors. I don't know. It just feels like all of them maybe are.
Yeah. Yeah, this movie reminded me like a lot of like what if the Scorpion King really, really wanted to be Game of Thrones?
Well, the Stephen Lange's plot is just the Mummy Returns.
Yep. It sure is.
Yeah, it's just the Mummy Returns. There's a sex scene in this movie, which I have in my notes. I put sex scene ... of course.
Yeah, no motivation. It's just kind of something to do to get us to the next scene.
And it feels okay, so it feels really weird because Jason Momoa puts her on the boat with his pirate buddy, and then he's like, I gotta go do this, and the pirate guy's like, go after him. And then she does, she catches up to him, and then it like just hard cuts to them fucking.
Yeah, I mean that like there's no motivation for like half the shit that happens in this movie. It's just tits and ass and action.
And as far as
That's
sex
a lot of
scenes,
it.
yeah, I appreciated seeing Jason Momoa's ass. I don't find him particularly attractive, but I appreciated it.
Yeah, I mean he's no Arnold Schwarzenegger, but man, he's fit.
Arnold Schwarzenegger, okay, look, he's fine. I like him as an actor, but he's almost like too like buff and stuff. Jason Momoa has a little bit of a fun femininity to him that I find maybe a little more attractive than
Yeah,
Arnold
I see that.
Schwarzenegger.
Yeah.
So you get to see his butt, which is nice. Then it all leads to the finale, which again, the beginning is slow and dull, and the ending, which I kept thinking the witch daughter would morph into a giant snake or something.
Yeah, something.
Yeah. I was like, okay, they're building up this character. She wants to prove to her dad that she's powerful like her mom. But she just ends up like fighting the girl and then getting her arm cut off and being kicked and impaled, and then she dies.
Yep.
That was it.
And Stephen Lange doesn't really seem all that upset about it. Like he's not like,
He yells at the
you know,
sky.
happy. Yeah, he's just distraught, but he's not like he doesn't get like that, you know, that Popeye anger strength.
I would have liked it better, yeah, if he ate a can of spinach and then yeah, just ran
My
after
daughter
him.
is dead.
So the daughter dies, but like before that, they're fight like they have the girlfriend tied on this rack, right? Her arms and legs are like stretched out on this rack thing.
Yeah.
And then Stephen Lang is like talking to her, and then it falls into like a ravine or a cliff that's over some fire. And then Stephen Lang is fighting with Conan on it that also feels very Pirates of the Caribbean-y.
Yeah.
And then she gets loose and she like runs away and then she fights the witch daughter. And like I kept thinking, I was like, okay, like something's gonna happen, right? Like now she broke loose and the witch is dead. And then like Stephen Lang said he wants like an army of the dead or something. So I was like, okay, so they're gonna have the girl be possessed by the mom. And then it's gonna end with Conan fighting a bunch of like dead people. But that doesn't happen either. It's just her hanging off a bridge. And then she gets like veiny for a second because he puts the mask together and puts on his face a squid mask. And then like
Yeah, but like by this point he's had it on and
right.
she was fine.
Yeah. And he's like, The girlfriend's like, just kill me. I could feel the witch inside me. She's turning all veiny. And then Conan is like on a bridge with Stephen Lange. And I was like, okay, the dead people are going to start rising, or she's going to become possessed and turn into something cool. Nope. He just puts his sword in the bridge and Stephen Lange falls and dies.
Yeah, you know what this reminded me of? For me, where the movie really started to like fall apart was after you see everyone get like a slash or hit with a warhammer or something, they just explode.
Yeah.
The movie fell apart for me when he hooked up that dude to the catapult, hurled him like half a mile, and he's just completely intact and not a scratch on him.
Yeah, I thought he was
I
going to
go,
land on the man. Like, just burst into a
yeah, I
pile
thought
of
he was
guts.
going to fucking explode.
The
And
movie.
no.
The movie's super graphic until the ending. Like, again, he doesn't even, like, Rose McGowan and Stephen Lang don't even die that horribly. This is a
Yeah.
movie where someone gets his nose violently cut off,
Yeah. And then he gets tortured with a finger stuck inside the hole. Like, that made me fucking squirm,
which then causes him to piss his pants.
which was really cool.
Yeah. But once it gets to the big action scene at the end, he just puts his sword in a bridge and Stephen Lang falls to his death.
I know.
And then he drops a girl
It,
off and he's like, we'll meet again, maybe.
like, oh, you thought you were getting a sequel.
How cute, you dummies.
Man, this movie, yeah, it is it's a turd sandwich, but with the turd for the bread.
Yes, yes. Accurate. And the meat of the sandwich is just a pulpy mess of blood.
It is a medium rare steak,
Yes, yeah,
but covered on both sides with shit.
yeah. And then he like goes, so he drops a girl off and he's like, oh, I'll see you in the sequel. And then he goes to his like village or something and then
Yeah,
like makes a sword. Was that his arc to go back and make a sword or something?
I took that as like he was resting his dad's blade on like where he was murdered or something, and then he goes, oh, raising his fucking sword up.
Yeah, and then it ends with the title card that it started with, and I was like, oh, how charming. Yeah, I didn't like this. I just again I liked about 30 minutes of like the action stuff when I was just
Yeah,
mindlessly entertained, and I thought the pace was decent.
yeah. I did hate the editing of this. I thought the editing was super like choppy and like I couldn't tell where shit was half the time. But I like bloody gore explosions.
Yeah, me too. I'm a horrible person too. I like that stuff too. I was like, why am I enjoying this? What does this say about me? I don't. I'm enjoying all the
Yeah.
violence.
Yeah, it's all make believe.
Yeah.
Because I mean, people don't really explode when they get hit with a warhammer. Their ribs break.
So, okay, if you had a choice to see a sequel to this movie or Old Man Conan, what would you want?
Oh, dude, I totally want Old Man Conan. King Conan, King Conan, King Conan.
What if what if they meet?
What if they meet?
Yeah, what if they have an interdimensional face-off? Old Man Conan versus young Conan.
Like Endgame?
Yeah.
I might watch that,
Okay.
but it might wind up like Star Trek Generations or something. Like, whose movie is it? You decide.
I would want like Old Man Conan where he's like on a throne and then like the young hot
Mhm.
Conan just comes and like bashes his brains in and then the movie just goes on from there.
Yeah,
Are they supposed to make another Conan movie?
dude, King Conan has been like optioned for I want to say since the late 90s or something. It's never gonna happen.
Does he want to do it?
He keeps saying that he's up for it, but I don't know. I think what's I think what stalled was him running for governor, and then him retiring from acting, coming back from acting, not being as big, and just kind of being interested in other shit.
Like every bad Terminator sequel
Yeah.
that he's in for some reason.
Yeah, that's another series that I've just kind of given up on.
Have you seen Dark Fate yet?
No.
Me neither. Genesis, have you seen that?
Um, which one was that?
Where John Connor's evil or something?
No, I didn't. Oh, wait, is that the one where?
With Khaleesi?
Yeah, that's the one that I always forget I did see because I remember next to nothing about it.
I haven't seen that one
I
either.
I I remember. Was it Jai Courtney?
I don't know, I didn't see it.
Oh, he's like a human Terminator hybrid, right?
I I don't
I
think so.
think that's it.
Is,
Or I don't know. That's one of them.
isn't John... Well, yeah, it's got a bunch of movies. There's going to be random crap in some of them. Yeah, I know there's a Terminator in one of them, right?
There's a human Terminator hybrid somewhere.
Isn't that in the Salvation?
I think that is Salvation.
Yeah.
Good God, this series is a mess.
Isn't Jai Courtney Kyle Reese?
Yes. No. Wait. No. I don't know. I don't remember.
He both is and isn't. That's how bad and jacked up this series is.
Oh my
Everything you
God.
think about it is probably right and wrong.
Yeah, that's accurate.
You're like, is there one where there's a girl Terminator who makes her boobs bigger? That sounds ridiculous, but
That's
yes, that happened.
Terminator 3. That's
Yeah.
Terminator 3. The TX.
Clearly the most deadly, because she was a woman, I'm guessing.
I guess. I mean, Terminators don't have a gender. They're just cyborgs. But whatever. Whatever, James Cameron, who
Okay,
keeps
if you could
shoving
have
shit down my
another
throat.
if you could have another Terminator or another Conan emoji pick.
Another Conan, because I've had like 6 Terminator movies.
You're crazy. They keep getting worse. I just want to see what they're going to do next.
Like Fast and the Furious. They keep getting worse, but people keep seeing them.
Yes, the morbid, dark part of my brain wants to just keep seeing bad Terminators. It ignores everything except for the first two.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Here's the real sequel.
We're eliminating all of the stuff from 1 and 2. It starts at 3. That's where it starts.
We're making a new Terminator that only counts Terminator 3.
Oh.
Yeah, I want to see that one.
Oh.
I don't really have much to say about Conan anymore, do you?
Yeah, like I said, man, as soon as it was over, I kind of started forgetting about it.
Just, yeah, it was a decent middle. Beginning and ending sucked.
Yeah, I mean, it didn't give me eye cancer, I will say that.
I wish that the witch played a bigger part because I thought she was the best character in it.
Yeah, I wish the bad guys had an arc. Like, I wish I cared that they were there instead of, like, serving as, like, a MacGuffin for Conan to beat.
I also kind of thought she was gonna like kill her dad and become like the big threat, but that never happens.
That was in my head, too.
We were just too creative, I guess.
Yeah. We steal ideas from other movies that are totally free to steal from too often.
Yeah, but the writers for this just were like, no, we're just gonna do it our way. Wouldn't it
Yeah.
be badass if Conan would like just his hot babe girlfriend, he just shut her up with a gag because she was talking too much? Yeah, that'd be badass. That's a direct quote from the director of this movie. I don't know why that part upset me so much, but it did. I don't know why I'm focusing on that, but it just really upset me.
Yeah, I just like, oh my God, sex scene. Yawn. Because like Game of Thrones is at that point, and those were some sex scenes. And quasi rape scenes too, by the way.
I can't remember any sex scene in Game of Thrones outside of Jason Momoa and Emilia Clarke.
There were quite a few of those. There was um Jon Snow and the Wildling woman.
Oh, yeah.
That one was pretty hot.
Yeah.
because like they're actually like in love in real life, so you
That's
could feel
cute.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we never got the one that everybody wanted. Tywin with Lady Olenna.
uh, Game of Thrones.
Yeah. I don't even, like, I can't, I don't feel comfortable recommending it to anybody anymore.
Yeah, like we keep throwing around the idea of, all right, we'll just watch the first 5 seasons.
Yeah, that's when it was good.
Yeah, but we just never do because that's a lot of commitment.
I'm like, in my opinion, the show, in my continuity, it ends with Cersei blowing up the Sept and the Lannisters winning. That's the end of the show for me.
Yeah, that's a great ending.
Yeah.
And everyone's just too far away to be effective. The end. The
Yeah.
end.
It was the biggest show of all time, and now nobody talks about it. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
that was the show
Yeah.
that made everyone go Breaking Bad. Yeah, but you got to see Game of Thrones.
And now we're back to, no, Breaking Bad.
Breaking Bad, Breaking Bad.
Yeah.
So what movie do you want to do?
Oh, so just sticking on this theme, I guess. What do you think it'll be? I'll say it's
Uh,
kind of related to this movie.
of action movies that are kind of turds?
No.
Of what theme?
Jason Momoa.
Shark Boy and Lava Girl?
Is he in that?
Oh no, that's what's his name from Twilight.
You you legit thought that Jason Momoa
I
played
did.
Shark Boy?
Well, he's in one of those movies.
He's a grown man, isn't he? Like,
No, like he was a kid at one point.
well, yeah, we all were, but like, I don't think he's young enough, old enough to have been that. No, it's Aquaman. I'm watching Aquaman.
Oh, I haven't seen it yet.
Me neither. I just know it's probably gonna be bad.
Yeah, I mean, like like I said, I watched Shazam. Some of the jokes were effective. The rest of the movie, I just don't care about.
I like Shazam a lot.
Good. I'm glad you enjoyed it.
That's my response to that. So we'll watch Aquaman.
Hmm. Alrighty then.
So
It's on HBO still. Yeah.
you seem really excited. Uh, the only news that I wrote about was just like the Snyder Cut.
Yeah, I saw that, and I think we talked about it a little bit when we last recorded. Um, maybe.
Well, it's a reality now.
Yeah. Um, I find it hard to believe that you can inject a through line into a movie that doesn't have one. Like how deleted scenes could inject a plot into a movie, I don't know.
It's not deleted
But we'll
scenes.
see.
It's going to be a whole new thing. That's the thing. Like, it's not Zack Snyder's version of Justice League. He's filming new stuff. You know what I mean?
Oh, so is it going to be like the extended edition of Dune, where it's just a bunch of like drawings and concepts that they just shoved into there with some like narrator?
I don't. I'm sure it will be better than the Justice League movie that we reviewed already. I'm sure it will be better.
Yeah,
But like, this is Zack Snyder's filming new stuff with like the retrospect of what people didn't like about the original Justice League movie. It's not his pure vision. You know what I mean?
that is insane that he is like able to do that.
Well, HBO Max needs.
Yeah, they're not making anything right now.
Yeah, I think I told you like when I learned that the Snyder Cut was getting some funding behind it. I told you I felt like a kid on Christmas who got coal from his parents. It's like, yeah, I knew that that was possible. I just never thought it would happen. Like, I didn't think the universe would be that cruel to let it happen.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm sure we'll review it. I'm sure we'll talk about it.
I'm sure we will too. I mean, I don't want to,
It's
but
not up to you.
I'm sure one of us is going to make us watch
Yeah,
it.
me. It's gonna be me.
It's probably because I don't want to. As much of a of a well crafted collection of scenes Justice League was, I don't want to watch the Snyder Cut.
I feel like since it's clear by now that he hates Superman, all the stuff he's gonna film is just like Batman giving Superman a wedgie and like Flash smack
Just,
him in the face.
yeah, just flipping off his tombstone. Like,
when,
you can't do anything about it. Eh.
when they dig up his body, they drop it and he shits his pants or something. Like, yeah, it's not gonna be
What's
good.
your superpower? I'm rich.
Anyway, that's all I got.
Yeah, yeah. There's nothing else really happening. So yeah. Aquaman. Aquaman's next.
I think this is one of our shortest episodes,
This is
but it's okay.
yeah. I kind of like it this way because the way we're having to edit is a little more complicated
Mm-hmm.
because I'm trying to make the sound quality better.
Okay.
Even though no one listens to it really, it's just like really good like editing practice for me.
Yeah.
So it takes me like a good couple of weeks to like put it all together. Like I'm almost done with the one that we did a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, and I don't contribute at all to that, so whatever makes it easier for you, I will do.
Yeah, yeah, it's okay. Like there's a lot that goes into editing, and this is even like just doing the bare minimum really with audio editing that I'm doing.
So, Aquaman, next time we talk.
Aquaman, Aquabro, yeah.
My man! He says it in the movie, right? He has to say it in the movie.
He doesn't he do it in Justice League?
No, I want to do it in everything that he's in as Aquaman. Or just Jason
Uh,
Momoa. I would just want him to say it in every movie. He should have said it in Conan.
he said in Game of Thrones, Khaleesi, my man.
My man! Alright.
All right, bye everybody.
Bye.